Welcome back to No Man's Sky, everyone. Jason here with our beginning series for 2024. The Omega update is out, and so we're going through some of the new changes to No Man's Sky. If you're a brand new player, or maybe a player that has been out for a while, and you want to come back and play the game, this is going to be the series for you, hopefully. Hopefully you enjoy it. So in the last episode, we finally got to the Space Anomaly. We did our tour of the Space Anomaly, kind of looked at all the new features, especially the new the expedition terminal that they've added to the Space Anomaly. But now it is time to return to space, but not before. We're going to talk to Artemis, but we need to get rid of this crashed ship that we picked up in our last episode. So with a crashed ship, they are absolutely free, but you're gonna need to fix all these broken terminals in a crashed ship, and that can be very expensive. It depends on how many materials you have already. We don't have very much. It's the beginning of the game, so it's going to cost us a lot. So instead of doing that, instead of fixing this and using it, we're gonna go scrap it. We're gonna basically sell it for parts and make a whole bunch of money off the parts. You need to go to the space station to do that. So let's fly over to the space station. We're probably gonna get a call from Artemis, but that's okay. So let's get out here. And where is the space station at? Oh, this thing's gonna fall apart. Just don't get attacked on the way. Oh, there it is. Okay. Here comes our call. Where? And it's just cutting out. Is there anyone out there? It's outside. Something's wrong with. It's like his signal keeps cutting out. Well, I'm gonna identify myself. I tell the stranger that I can hear them. There is a moment's pause. The only sound I hear is the background hiss of cosmic radiation. You found me. There's so little light. I thought I'd never hear another soul again. I really did. How did you find my voice? Well, I found your ship. I'm literally flying in your ship right now. I tell the stranger about the abandoned starship wreck and how I found their communicator ID in the distress beacon. I begin to mention the anomalous space station, but they cut me off. It's outside, but I think I'm safe. There are 16 of them. They look just like... And he cuts off. What about 16? We keep hearing about 16. What's going on here? Fear and confusion dance within the eyes of the stranger. After a few moments of silence, they turn to me, imploring. You don't know who you are, do you? And it cuts off. You lied to me. It lied to me. It lied to all of us. The sound cuts out, but their face lingers on, silent, before it too fades into nothingness. This must be Artemis, and they are clearly in need of help. I need to find a way to boost their signal. So we have to find a way to boost the signal, that way we can track them down. Before we do that, though, I'm in a space ship that has no shield, so I'm gonna need to destroy this thing, because if I fly around too much, I'll get caught. I have no shields. It's gonna get me all destroyed. So what you can do is look for upgrades in here. So I have a broken upgrade. Now I can fix this if I had a wiring loom. I have the sodium, I have the chromatic metal. However, the other thing you can do is just destroy it, because if you destroy it, you'll get pieces from it. Destroy it. I just got some wiring loom, sodium, and chromatic metal out of that the pieces from it. So anything you want to, you can break and get pieces from it. Now keep in mind, there are some like required parts of your ship. Like you can't get rid of your shield. It won't let you do it. Same thing for your hyperdrive. Any of these like parts that are a necessity for your ship, you cannot get rid of those. So you can only get rid of the extra stuff. So now we have different missions. If you go to your pause menu, in your log, you'll see we have a whole bunch of missions here, and they will pop up in the game. Will try to decide which one is the most relevant one, but you can at any time get in your pause menu and say, hey, I don't want to go back to the Space Anomaly. I just did that. So let's go to the Alone Amidst the Stars. That is the Artemis storyline. We're going to follow that one, so just highlight that one. But keep in mind, the objectives that they show you will only show up on the highlighted mission. So now I'm getting all of my Artemis stuff, right? All of my Artemis highlighted objectives. But I will not run into anything for like the Space Anomaly or anything like that. So keep that in mind. keep going over here. And the ship upgrade station is right here. You can also break down a ship if you'd like. So we have upgrade starship, and then we also have claim scrap. Now, it'll tell you you're going to get 1.5 million from your ship. That is not how much it's worth. So if I back out, you can pull out your visor and look at any ship, and it'll give you a lot of details about that ship. So if I pull out my visor and look at this ship, over on the left-hand side, the left-hand panel of the screen, you'll see my ship name is the Machino's Parallax Coupe. Machino's Parallax Coupe. And underneath that, it says class. It's an Explorer, and it is a C class with 27 cargo, which means your normal inventory, and 17 technology. That second number is always your technology inventory, how many upgrades you can have for your technology. And then below that, it says value 5.8 million. So if this ship was fully fixed, it would be worth 5.8 million. But because it's broken and it's not working correctly, they're not going to give me full price. It's broken. That's why I'm only getting 1.5. So keep that in mind. You're not going to get full price for your ship, whatever its value is. And the other thing comes, that also works whenever you're trying to trade or sell a ship. The person you're trading with might not give you the full price of it because they're like, look, it's an Explorer. I don't like Explorers, but I'll buy it for, you know, a cheaper price. You can do the same thing. So we're going to scrap it. Now, remember, when you scrap it, they're going to give you pieces. So you're not getting this money. It'll just give you scrap, all the parts that are worth 1.5 million. So now I'll have all these different pieces in my suit, in my backpack. So now I got some upgrades. I got some C-class upgrades. Again, we don't really want these, but we could sell them for money. We got some pieces, like we got recycled circuitry from our ship. We got some spool of nano cable. So we have all these things, and these aren't usable for anything else. So if you think, oh, I can use this for an upgrade, no. These are only used to sell to make money. That's the only use they have. Subatomic regulators. That is what it is. So if you look at it, in the center of this item description, you'll see value 940,000, and it says used for trading. That's it. That's the only thing it's used for. You cannot build anything with it. You cannot use it to upgrade anything. It's only used for trading. So if I go hover over like my oxygen, this one is different because it's a building block. It is used for building, crafting, charging, upgrading. It will tell you what it's used for. So you can also trade this if you want, but essentially it's not one of the main components of it. So keep that in mind. There we go. So if you hover over any item, it'll tell you what it's used for. That way you know, oh, I should keep this, or I don't need to keep it. It's only used for trading. So the only use I can get out of it is selling it. That's the only thing I can get out of it. So let's come back over here to the what's it called? The trade terminal. And we're going to sell spool of nano cables. Yes. We're going to sell the subatomic regulators and recycled circuitry. Now, I wish in No Man's Sky, maybe, hopefully, one of these days, we will get an upgrade or an update for the menus, because this menu is so cumbersome and doesn't help you at all. So there's no order. Look at this. There's no order to your items at all. I have condensed carbon. You think it's in alphabetical order? It's not. Condensed carbon, chromatic metal, sodium. Okay, that's out of order. Do you think it's by worth, by how much it's worth? No, it's not. It is just randomly thrown in this list. I have no idea. Maybe it's on the when you've received the item, but that's not a useful tool. There's no way to organize this. There's no way to sort it or anything like that. The other thing is, it doesn't tell you what the item is. So like if you hover over it, it doesn't give you the whole only used to be trade or anything like that. You don't get all the details of these items when you hover over them like you do in your inventory. So some things you just have to remember, oh yeah, that's my trading thing, or this is my building thing, or this is my upgrade thing. So hope maybe one day they will do an update for the menus, but man, it is just difficult. So just keep in mind, like when you go to sell items, be careful. Number one, don't sell the items you want to keep. But number two, try to remember what item, like the name of the item that you want to sell. Like my portable refiner. I can sell that if I want to. I'm only going to get $10 for it, but I could just to get it out of my inventory. Anyway, so we have all that. The other thing you can do is all of these on the, you know, the multi-tool guy, the upgrade guy, the space ship upgrade merchant, all of them will buy upgrades as well. So if you go into their menu, here we are. It says purchase upgrade modules, and you can buy instantly. It goes to your buy menu by default. But if you go down here to sell, now you can sell any of the upgrades you have in your inventory. Again, be careful. You don't want to sell the ones you want to keep, you know, obviously, but you can sell the ones that we're not going to use. Like all these sea levels, I'm never going to use them, so I'd rather get my my money for it. Now, I'm only going to get 60 nanites, so it's not very much. So it might be more beneficial to actually install it and break it. Remember, if you install an upgrade, like if I install this hyperdrive module in my ship, if you hover over it and you say, hey, I want to dismantle it, I want to break this thing, at the bottom of the info screen, it'll tell you dismantle, and then you will get 75 chromatic metal, 13 magnetized ferrite, and 1 wiring loom. So it might be worth it. Like, this is a fairly low level upgrade. I'm not going to get very much money for it if I sell it. However, I will get some rare items if I break it, if I dismantle it. So like the wiring loom is very, very expensive. It's actually worth more than the money I would get for selling it. So if I just destroy it and I hover over that, look at that, 25,000 for that wiring loom. And I was going to get 60 nanites for it. That's why sometimes it's way more beneficial just to break something that you have sitting in your inventory rather than selling it. Same thing for the pulse engine. I don't want the pulse engine, so just delete that. And I got some good items. I got cadmium, which is worth 6,000. I got 75 cadmium. That's a really rare metal you got out of that. So definitely, sometimes it's easier just to install it and then break it to get the pieces back from it. So there you go. Now, if it's a higher level upgrade, like if you're talking like an A or an S class upgrade, it might be more beneficial to sell it, you know, because you'll get 600 nanites, 500 nanites, which is a lot. So now that we've sold the ship or we scrapped it, we got rid of all that stuff. Now we have to go and find Artemis. So again, make sure it's highlighted in our menu. We need to scan to locate potential sites for a powerful transmitter. We need to boost our signal. That way we can see where the heck he's coming from. So we know it's over here on this planet. Let's go over here to this planet. I don't have any. Oh, I don't have any tritium, so I cannot recharge my my ship engines here. Here we are. I think we're all good on all this stuff. We have our batteries here. We're gonna need some life support shells. We'll get there though. So this is going to mark the general location. Again, this is the target sweeper. So while you're coming in, do a scan. And there's a building right here, so that might be the building we're looking for. Let's look over here. And it looks like it probably is. So I always do a scan on the way in, because the scan from your ship will mark any nearby buildings, and it's not a guarantee, but it's a high likelihood that the building that's nearby is going to be the building they want you to go to. Pull out my sweeper, my visor, and boom. This is the building. This is what we needed to go talk to, or go interact with. So let's get up here. So you also don't have to like go up this ladder. I'm doing it the first time just to kind of show you guys we can go all the way up here to the top of the broadcasting tower. That way we can amplify our signal and see what the heck is going on. But you could just use your jetpack. If you have enough jetpack upgrades, you can just use your jetpack to get up here. Now let's interact with the holographic comms tower. Nope, it needs to be unlocked. And we need sodium for that. We need 24 sodium. So again, if you don't have that, you can just pop off real fast, go get some sodium, and come back and do it. You can also use sodium nitrate. We have it, so we're going to pop it in there. Holo terminus activated. Multiple signal sources available. The tower hosts a powerful transmitter designed to facilitate holographic communication across long distances. The extra power should allow me to reestablish the connection to Artemis. Well, yeah, let's tune into his signal. I try to locate Artemis's frequency, uploading the data from our previous communication. So now it should unlock him. There it is. Who's there? You. It's you again, isn't it? You really are real, aren't you? You aren't a dream. I hope so. I'm sorry, it's hard to think here. Something's wrong with the... but it cuts out. It's easy to create a better reality when you have to. I thought you might be a dream. I'm sorry, I haven't heard another voice in so long. Not since I cut the speaker from my exosuit. It said such terrible things. His exosuit was freaking out, okay. Who are you? The stranger smiles through the static. I'm just like you. You're a traveler of worlds, aren't you? What do you mean, traveler of worlds? They do not respond with speech. They transmit a vision, a red star, and a fragile world. I do not understand the shapes within the whispers. I see life forms scattered to the far reaches of the galaxies. I see the stranger's first breath, yearning for the stars. I see myself slumbering in the crimson void, waiting for a dream of worlds. And through the darkness I hear it said. Anomaly detected. Designation traveler. And then I awake. What I showed you just now, it has haunted me since I awoke. You must recognize it too. We are the travelers, discoverers of worlds. From the moment you opened your eyes, you must have known that you are not like the others. And so did I. Before I became stranded here, I was on a journey to... and it cuts out. To finally meet. It cannot be a coincidence that you found this signal. Tell me, do you still have the data log from that crashed ship? Yeah. Yeah, here you go. I upload my exosuit's records, including the strange transmission I received and the data I found at the crashed vessel. Much of my equipment is damaged. I am here alone on foot, stranded on a sunless world. I do not even know how your signal is reaching me. But this ship you found, it belonged to me once. Perhaps there is hope after all. We need to work out where we both are. If you build a signal booster across the system, we should be able to triangulate your position. I'll be able to find my way out, and you'll get all the answers you seek. All right, let's do it. Thank you, traveler. You are going to save my life. You are going to find me. So I need to make some signal boosters in order to locate myself, and then match up our location, so we can match up his location with my location. So now we need to build a signal booster. So if you go into if you press up on your D-pad, it'll bring up your build menu. And we'll see, we need a signal booster, but we need 1 metal plating, 1 carbon nanotube, and 15 sodium. So remember, we can make our metal plating and our carbon nanotube. Let's go into our backpack and build those. Metal plating with the 50 ferrite dust, and a carbon nanotube, which is 50 carbon. So let's get on the ground. That way I can put this thing down. Signal booster, down. Now, if you activate it, it'll give you different options. We can scan for nearby structures, so it'll locate a nearby structure. Or, what we need to do for this mission is triangulate our position. So now we've done 1 location, but we need 3 different locations. That way we kind of get a general area of where we're at. So it will mark the next location for you, like what area you need to go to in order to get a good lock on your position. So let's fly over here to... Is it on planet? Let's get up here. Get out of the atmosphere so we can see where this location is. It's somewhere over there. Oh, is it next to my base? Wait a minute, let's look. It is close to my base. Wow, look at that. That's kind of crazy. So we're going to a different planet. So we're kind of trying to basically scope out this system, Because Artemis is here somewhere. We just don't know where he is. So we're going to look at different planets to kind of triangulate our location and then compare it with his. Suitable site located. So we're going to do another scan as we fly in. I don't see any buildings around here. So then the second thing you want to do is kind of, as you're flying in, look for any buildings that pop in. The draw distance in No Man's Sky is kind of bad, so it might not pop in immediately. Oh, it's right on there. Okay, nice. It's a drop pod. So we can activate this by using a carbon nanotube and a antimatter housing. So I'm going to make sure to make those to activate the drop pod. So we're not here for the drop pod. We're not here at all. We just need to put down our signal booster and then triangulate. So we're going to pop that down, open up the menu and triangulate my position. And then in the last one, remember, pick it up. You don't have to keep it down. You don't have to leave it there. You can just pick up your booster just like you pick up your refiner. And you'll put it back in your inventory. And so now we have a signal booster in our inventory. So it's just like the refiner. But while we're here, if you ever find a drop pod, this will give you an upgrade for your inventory. But you need to activate it. So if you activate the exosuit upgrade module, you'll need to install one antimatter housing. You need to install sodium nitrate, which we do not have, and we need carbon nanotubes, which we just made. So the one thing we have left over is sodium nitrate. We need to make that. The way you can do that is put down a refiner and refine your regular sodium into sodium nitrate. So let's put some fuel in that refiner. Now let's get some of our sodium. And we need 10 minimum. So I'm going to make 14. We should probably actually make a little bit more. So if you want to add more to it, you totally can. Let's do that. Boom. Make 16. That's a good round number. I like that. And so now we have it. And again, don't forget your refiner. I do it all the time. Pick it up before you leave. That way you don't forget about it. Now let's install our sodium nitrate. And that's it. That's all you need to do. It doesn't cost you any money. So this is a very good way to make a whole bunch of inventory room in your suit. It doesn't cost you any money. It does cost you materials. You need to make, you know, the, what's it called? You need to make the carbon nanotube, the antimatter housing. You need to have the sodium nitrate. But once you do that, it's an absolutely free. You see, it doesn't cost you any money. So we're going to round out or square off our inventory down here in their cargo. And now that's it. So you can only get one out of here. If you try to do it again, it's all burned out. You only get one. But if I find another drop pod, I can do that again. So if I'm just, you know, flying around really low and slow and I find another drop pod, I can totally use that one as well. But let's move my inventory around a little bit. That way it's all good to go. Yep, it all looks all organized. Beautiful. Now let's go to that last position we need to triangulate. So it should mark it again because we have the mission highlighted in our log. If it disappears for whatever reason, like if you don't see the suitable site location, make sure to go to your pause menu, go to your log, and make sure that the Alone Amidst the Stars is highlighted. If anything else is highlighted, like Atlas Path, notice how it just disappeared. We have no location. We have no markers for that mission because that is not the mission that the game is following. Make sure you're following whatever mission you want to do. Make sure that's the mission that's highlighted. That way it keeps putting objective markers where you need to go. Is this back to the original location? Yeah, we were just here. What? Okay. That doesn't feel like a normal, like, setup. We were just here. I'm about to run out of fuel, so if that happens, oh god. Just stop at a asteroid field like this. Let's get all this organized and ready to go. Gonna shoot all these asteroids and get some tritium, because that is going to be fuel you use for your engine, for your pulse engine in your ship. Go, go, go. Beautiful. And that should be enough. So let's keep going back to that marker over here, the suitable site for our thing. But while we're doing that, we got some golden nuggets. We also got some tritium hyperclusters. So these are randomized objects you can get out of asteroids. If you open it up, you analyze it, it'll give you some gold. Same thing for the tritium. If you open that up, it'll give you more tritium. So it's basically just like a cluster of that item. And you will randomly get it whenever you break open an asteroid. So let's land down here. Suitable site. Maybe it's going to be another drop pod. That would be awesome. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's a, maybe an abandoned building? It looks like it is an abandoned building. So, there are all kinds of different buildings around in No Man's Sky. Abandoned buildings are very, very cool. They have these little eggs on the outside. Now be careful. These whispering eggs, if you break it open, there are enemies that'll pop up and try to basically protect the eggs. So be prepared for that. However, inside of this whispering egg is some very valuable resources that you can use to make money or nanites. So I would highly suggest, if you want to, you're more adventurous, crack these open. Pull out your laser. Crack it open and boom, larval core. But now you see all these enemies popping up. And they will keep attacking you for about a minute or two, and then they get tired and they go away. But that timer gets reset every time you crack open another egg. So if you crack open an egg, that timer gets reset back to 0, and you need to wait for it to basically cool down before you can do that again. So what I do is crack open a couple and just run around the building and just try to get away from these crazy animals. Look at that. They look like the aliens from Pitch Black to me. So there you go. But yeah, so I'll just run around. And there's different ways to do this. If you want to, you can dig a hole underneath the in the ground and use that as protection. So like if I did that right now, the enemies can't get you down here. They don't traverse holes. So they won't come and get you. So you can just dig a hole down here and wave them out if you want to. Some people, they will dig a hole underneath the egg, the nests, and then they will pop the eggs from the hole. So like if I look up here and I see any if I see any eggs, I don't see any eggs here. Oh, nope, there's one right there. So there's a whispering egg right there. If I pop it open, it'll pop down here and I could just pick it up. So you could totally do it that way. I think it's not as dangerous. Like it used to be a long time ago when the abandoned buildings first appeared and all these whispering eggs were around. It was way more dangerous. These guys would take you out in like a couple hits. And so that was useful. You didn't want to die. And so you would definitely do that. They've kind of nerfed them over time. And so they're not as hard as they used to be. So it's not that big of a deal if you just want to run around a little bit. And I mean, ultimately... Oh no, the egg didn't have anything in it. And ultimately, if you want to, just get in your ship. That'll protect you. Or go inside the building. They cannot enter the building either. So just hide inside here. And they'll leave you alone because they can't enter the building at all either. So there are ways around it that you don't have to dig a hole and protect yourself like that. So, oh yeah, I need to build a signal booster out there, but I'm inside protecting myself from that. So let's open this terminal here. A beacon sent long ago from a distant system awaits my response. 3 numbers are visible above an empty input box. I think I know what comes next. So this is kind of a puzzle. You have to look at it and see the pattern. So, in general, these are not the same puzzle every time, but the same pattern. Like there's only like a handful of patterns that you have to really know. This one is the move everything to the left pattern. So it's 1702. Move all the numbers to the left, and then that first number goes to the back. So move the 1 to the back, and it becomes 7021. If you move that 7 to the back, it becomes 0217. So you're basically every iteration takes the first number, puts it on the back, and that's it. So if we take 0217, move that 0 to the back, that would be 2170, which is going to be the top one. I discover a location within the distress to the stars. Okay. So now it's going to mark a location for us, which is pretty awesome. I like it. And it is an ancient ruin. Cool, cool, cool. So it marked it and it's way off the planet. It's on a different planet. Holy cow. And because we're inside the building anyway, I'm going to go around and like collect all the open boxes and things like that just to kind of get my materials. Now the aliens should be all gone. The enemies, yep, they're all gone. It takes about a minute, maybe 2 minutes. And again, it will reset that timer if you keep cracking the eggs open. So just stop cracking the eggs open, wait a couple minutes, and you should be fine. So now we picked up the larval core. Let's look at it in our inventory. It is used for building and upgrading. I don't know about that. Maybe building some technology blueprints need a larval core, but it's really rare. Like I think only maybe a couple things need it. So you don't really need to keep it for that. The bigger thing is, this stack of 10 is worth 698,000, over $500,000, almost $750,000 if you sell it. The other thing you can do is put down a refiner. And if you put it into the refiner, let's put some fuel in there first. If you put those eggs in the refiner, we'll do a stack of 10. You get 50 nanites for each one. So we're going to get 500 nanites from this stack of 10 larval core. That is a lot. That's basically an S-class upgrade. That's a full-on one of the best upgrades you can get. That's the price you would have to pay for it. That's why they are very, very useful for nanites. I would say, if you're going to do anything with it, make nanites out of them. You can sell it for money, but there's also a lot of other stuff that's a high value as well. So the not a lot of stuff will give you that many larval core, or that many nanites. That's why I always use my larval cores for nanites. I always refine them down and get my nanites out of that. That way you can get a whole bunch of upgrades if you need to. So, oh yeah, did we put our signal booster? We did not. Let's pop that down. Triangulate our position. So we got to 100%. We know where we are. So we need to go back and talk to Artemis. So let's see what the heck Artemis has to do, or what he where his position is. When I first reached out to the heavens, I had no idea what to expect. This is Artemis. The beauty, the mystery, the adventure, the danger. And here we are, aren't we? Go to a holo terminus and upload your data. Let's find each other. So, let's find a terminus. We have to scan. And we're going to get another one of those big old towers. There we are. Holo terminus active or detected. Where is it at? Let's look around. And it's going to be way over here. I don't know why it doesn't mark the same one over and over again, but it basically does a scan and it just marks a randomized one. Sometimes it's close to you, sometimes it's on a whole different planet like this, which is crazy. It's like, okay, I guess. So there we are. We're going to land here. We're going to see what the heck, where is Artemis? So while I'm doing that, I have my ammo here. I'm going to organize my inventory yet again. I always like to organize, get it all situated. So there should be a terminus around here somewhere. There it is. We're going to land next to it and go up there and talk to Artemis and see what the heck is going on here. So I told you earlier you don't have to use your stairs. You can just use your jetpack. But look at that. My jetpack sucks. I don't have any upgrades on it, so I can't make it all the way. Dang it. I'm going to have to actually manually walk or climb the stairs all the way up because my jetpack just needs more upgrades. Dang it. That's all right. Eventually we'll get some really good upgrades and we'll have an amazing jetpack.
Toxic protection falling.
So let's activate it. Holo terminus activated. Multiple signal sources are available. The tower hosts a powerful transmitter designed to facilitate holographic communication across long distances. So let's activate Artemis. Have you triangulated your position? Let me know when you're ready to receive some data. Yeah, let's do it. Excellent. We're really getting somewhere. Hold on. I'll just... Artemis transmits some data of their own. A star chart showing the skies around their location. I don't have any equipment, and I don't know where I am. I don't even know how long I've been here, so I've taken an old-fashioned approach. I've sketched the stars. You should find plenty of locals able to match our star pattern. My ship was nearby, so we can't be that far apart. I'll patch my translator through so you can understand what they're saying. You'll need to calibrate it first, but that should only take a few words. Good luck. Or maybe. See you soon. So now we need to figure out where he is, and he gave us his translator, so this will help us with talking to the different aliens around. So I need to construct his translator. And for that, we need microprocessor, which we have, and we need copper. We need 100 copper. Do we not have any copper at all? We don't have any copper at all, so we're going to need to find some copper in order to install that translator so we can figure out what the heck is going on, because we need to go talk to local aliens so they can help us with the map that he had to draw out. So that is what we're going to be doing in the next episode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, hit the like button, and I will see you guys next time.